Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Art 196, Introduction to Designing Web Graphics for the Fall Semester 2021. Anyway, I'm going to continue where I left off on Tuesday and explain some of the glitches that, or the one principal glitch that occurred, and that the section H2 selector that I created was not working. And you can see right now it is working. As soon as I ended our webinar and I logged off, I went back in here and I deleted the selector and put it in again, and it worked. Do I have an explanation for that? No, other than sometimes Dreamweaver, and especially the CSS designer, just doesn't work the way it's supposed to. But it works now. So as you can see, any H2 tag that's contained within a section tag looks a little bit different. If I were to come back up here, I have a paragraph tag up here, okay? And if I were to change this to an H2 tag, it lies outside of that border, a section border, or a section tag. So if I change that, and I hit Command T to change the, use the tag editor and make it an H2 tag, watch what happens. Oh, come on. There we go. So this is the default settings in what we have created for an H2 tag. It's a little bit larger. It uses, black text on a white background. And when it's inside a section, you'll notice that the same H2 heading tag is a little bit bolder, it's a little bit smaller, and we use the color green, that 090. So you can see for each of these groups that we created on Tuesday, where we have 2-3 paragraphs, and then inside that including that paragraph is an H2 heading, that these are grouped. And if we look at the DOM over here, we can see that as well. If I select each one of these sections, let me scroll back up, you can see that the section, it wraps around all of those paragraphs, as well as the heading tag. So that's one section, and then I can click on the next section down here, and it does the same thing. And now that one is selected. Now, if I just had one section, it would do the same thing, because each of the H2 heading tags, because they are contained within a section, would turn green and have these properties. But I think you'll find, to have greater control over these, your text and how it's displayed, that if you break it down into smaller groups, it will work better. And a good case and point is that if we look over to the right side, you'll see that I have 2 H2 heading tags. I have the one here. It is in green, okay, because it is inside a section. If I go back over to the right here and I select that, here's that H2 tag, but if I select the whole section, you can see that it will be, it wraps around these 2 paragraphs, as well as the heading tag up here, the H2 tag. Well, let's do the same down here. Let's go ahead and select the H2 tag, hold down the Shift key, and then select the additional 2 paragraphs. And then what I want to do here is I'm going to go ahead and I want to, why don't I see this here? I want to go to Insert, and I should be able to do it from here. It's not showing up. Why? Well, let me just go ahead and do this. I'm going to go ahead and go to insert up here, or I can go to insert over here. And I want to insert a section tag. I could also, it would be just as easy for me to do this in code view. In fact, that's would generally be my default. But let's go ahead and we have an HTML and see if it shows up. We have paragraph tags, we have heading tags. Yeah, I don't normally do it. Oh, here's the section tag here. So let's go ahead and I'm going to double click and I'm going to insert the section tag. Now there should have been, is it here? There we go. The little plus sign down here, that's what was missing. So either way, I could do that. If I double click here on the section tag, it's going to pop up and it's going to say, whoop, cannot select multiple. Okay, so it's not going to allow me to do that, but it can do it from here. So if I insert from here, well, let's try it from up here. I'm going to insert from here and I want HTML, and let's try a section from here and see if it will allow me to, yeah, it won't allow me to do that from there. So when I wanted to wrap around multiple groups of items, multiple paragraphs and the heading tag, then I have to do it from the DOM. And again, because I normally do this just in code view, I just discovered something new myself today. So I'm going to click here on the plus, and I want it to wrap the tag around all of them. That's the whole goal. I don't want just a simple div. I want the section tag. Okay. Hit the return key twice. And when it's added, notice what happened to the H2 heading tag. It now took on the same properties as the one up here. So any H2 heading tag, the way we've styled it, is contained inside a section will have these properties. Any of them that lie outside of it, like the one that we see up here in our main article, will not. It will have the default H2 heading properties. So I'll go ahead and I'm going to change this because this is supposed to be a paragraph tag up here. And we have, this is done. So now we're done with this one anyway. So I'll go ahead and I'm going to save file, save all, and make sure that not only the page is saved, but any CSS, any of the styles that we added to our style sheet have been updated as well. Let's go back to tips. That was another thing that we had worked on. And you notice as soon as I fixed the H2 heading tag for the last page that we created, which was news, that the one for this page worked as well, because each of these groups are contained inside a section as well. The only thing that we need to work on here, wait a minute, was it here? Is this the finished one? Oh, that's the finished. No wonder it works. Hold on here. Here's my green tips. There's one thing that I wanted to show you to change here. Now notice that I have the heading up here to remove. So if we just click on that, make sure that it's highlighted in blue, because I want to get rid of the opening and closing tag, and then just hit delete and it's gone. Okay. And if it doesn't go away, then let's see. It looks like I might have another open paragraph tag here. Well, here's another H2 tag that somehow I inserted by mistake. So make sure that that's blue and remove it. So that green books goes all the way to the top. Do I have anything up here? I don't think so. We'll see. If I look in code view, that's always, something that you have to look at, and that works just fine. But I wanted to point out in this page where we used an unordered lists over to the left. When we insert the quotes, the one thing that you have to remember to do, for example, the last quote is a paragraph tag for Benjamin Franklin. And because this is the name of the person who made the quote, this should be a cite tag. Again, we're just cleaning up the grammar of this, so to speak, so that it has, in the correct term is the proper syntax. So instead of a P tag, I'll hit Command T, and I'm going to put in cite, C-I-T-E, and hit the return key a couple of times, and watch what happens. That Benjamin Franklin is italicized, and it's now flush right. And it shares the correct properties with the rest. Okay. So let's hope that everything goes swimmingly today and we don't have any further hiccups. So I'm going to make sure that this is saved. And the next one that we're going to work with now is the contact us page. So the contact us page, this is the finished one, is that we've inserted, again, some quotes that they provide us, some phone numbers, but more importantly is in the main article here where we have these groups, okay, that are broken down, and we can see that, or organized, I should say, again, within sections, and we've defined this section, again, and even been more specific in what we're going to add as a class to this, so that we can add a border to this with a vertical stroke and a horizontal stroke to help separate it in each of them and make them visually stand out a little bit better. So let's go ahead and do that with a new one. So I created a new child page from the template that we created. And I'm going to go ahead and save this as contact us. Hopefully this doesn't bog down too much. Why is it getting so slow? So yeah, I want it, instead of untitled one, I want this to be, come on. There we go. I want this to be contact us. Okay, so I'm saving that inside our root folder. Okie doke. So now I'm ready to add content. So the first thing that we want to do here is add, hold on here, contact Meridian Green Start. That's what we want in here. So again, this is because this is an H1 tag in here and it's only one line, we're going to go ahead and do this by hand. So hit that. And again, my computer is kind of bogging down a little bit. So there's a little bit of a stutter and this should go pretty quickly for you guys. It might be because I have Photoshop open. So hold on one second, and maybe this will help fix it. I'm going to go ahead and pause the recording for a second. Yeah, I forgot to turn the recording back on. Oh, shoot. Okay. Well, we're in the midst of formatting our next group here. And what we're doing now is that we're adding borders and adding a class, profile class to this so that each of these groups can give, again, we can have slightly different appearance here. So let's go back in here. And we got that in our profile. I'm going to select the bottom one now. Yeah, that's the downside when I forget to turn things on and off. So I made another mistake. What I might do after class today is go back in and redo this. We'll see. Or just we can refer to one that I did last semester. That may not be any better, to be quite honest. So again, we need to assign its properties. The width this time is considerably larger. And again, it's going to be in pixels, and it's going to be 10 pixels. So remember, when you add a border, each one can be, side can be different from the other. The style is also going to be solid. Come on. Solid. And the color is the same as we used before. Now, I have not specified, I applied the margins, but I didn't apply the padding. So notice how the border butts right up against the side. The padding will push it away. So the color again, I'm going to click here. I had already saved it. It's this one right here. And that should take us back here. So why isn't that changing? There we go. Now it is. So now let's go back, and I have to the layout, and I've changed the margins, but now I need to change the padding. So the padding to the left, that's really the only one that I need to affect. So I'll just click on the left side here. And I want this to be 10 pixels. And watch how the border gets pushed away. There we go. So you have a little bit of error around it. Now what we can do, that everything is working properly, is that I can come back to each of these groups. So I'll come back down here and make sure that each section is selected. Okay, and I'll click the little plus here. And what I need to do is I need to add the dot profile class to it. And as soon as I do that, all of those changes that we just made to the first one are automatically applied to these as well. So, I mean, once you get the heavy lifting done, it does work pretty nicely. You know, when everything does work, then to make changes on additional elements in your page or on your entire website is not much of a stretch. Got that one. Let's change this one now. Let's move this up. And again, I'm just going to add the class profile. And again, if I misspell it or whatever, yeah, see, I misspelled it and it thinks I want to add a new class. So let me come back here. And everything is herky-jerky because my computer is slowing down. Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah. Well, after with this, rather than move on to tables today, I'm going to call it quits because this is just, again, frustrating. So it's just bouncing all over the place. There we go. So I need this section selected. I need to add the section or the section, add the class dot profile. There we go. So that one is working. And we get the next one working. Add the class. Oh, this is like watching. This is terrible. So I guess there's one more that I didn't do. We have, I can't read. I think they're all done. Any that I didn't do, transportation analysis. So there's one up here that wasn't added. The profile. And if it was added, it was added incorrectly. Let's come in here. And let's see where we've got that one highlighted. I'm just going to delete this one because it's probably misspelled. And I'm going to add a new one. So again, you know, when you make the mistakes, just delete it, come back in, dot profile, hit the return key, and it should work. There we go. So now they're all saved. So now I can say file, save all. And now we have styling that's customized even further. So in addition to adding and styling our H2 tags, heading tags that are contained inside a section, we have further customized this. So not only is this inside a section, but we've added another class to it, so we were able to add the border to it. Now, there's a bit more that we're supposed to do, and if you want, I can do that now, or we can give it a try, but I'll probably won't finish it because this has taken way much longer, way longer than I had planned. But we have our asides to take care of, which are similar to what we've done before. I can go ahead and work with the right aside. So let's look at sidebar 2. And this is, we don't have to really do much with these now. It's just kind of copy and paste. So that one is for events. This is for contact us. And I can just go ahead and highlight and copy everything. I can go back to the page where it says contact us. And I can click here. Come on, click on the right aside. Make sure that it's highlighted in blue. And now paste. And then I'll delete the paragraph tag where it says add sidebar content here. I don't need that. Where it says important numbers, that should be an H2 tag. So I'll click here, make sure that it's highlighted. Come on. There we go. Hit Command T. Change it from a paragraph to H2. Now let's get rid of the first one, first group that we have here. So I can select the paragraph tag, get rid of it. Again, if it's not highlighted in blue when you hit delete, the open and closing tags will remain, and there will be a space or there'll be a gap. And that's true here as well for any of these. The H2 tags, the paragraph tags, it doesn't matter what it is you're deleting. You got to make sure that the whole box is highlighted in blue. So there are the phone numbers, and then we can go back here for the quotes. So contact us. We have all of these. Let's see how many do they have here. We have a few of these. So I can, copy all of these. There's a variety of ways that we can do this. Command C to copy. We can go back to our contact us. I can click here at the very end of our site tag. I don't want the site tag. I need to end the block quote. So what I can do is if I hit the right key, let's do it this way. Let's switch from live view to design view. And let's try it this way. No, that's worse. Let's go back to live view. So it might behoove us just to simply copy paste, like where it says add quote here in the author, we can do that, or just do it one at a time. Because if I click here, okay, after the site tag, and I select paste, it's just going to put it all in the site tag. That's not what I want. Or did it? Maybe it just it did do it. Okay, it added it correctly. But it's within a block quote. So we need to make sure that each one of these is contained in its own block quote, and that we change the paragraph tag here, these to being site tags. So that's where we'll leave it for today. We'll go ahead and I'm going to change each one of these to a site tag. And I got to make sure that each one of these is wrapped in its own block quote. Because you'll notice how this butts right up against here. It thinks it's part of the quote itself. So I can, I have an opening tag and a closing tag. Oh, come on. That encompasses all of them. And I need each one of the quotes to have its own block quote, opening and closing tag. So I'm getting rid of these default ones here. And it might be easier just to go into the code view and add them where they're needed. So let's go ahead and take each of the paragraphs that need to be converted to site tags and do that. So that those are formatted properly, and then wrap each one in a block quote. I use quotes on my personal page, on my personal website. You may or may not on yours. They are used frequently in web design. So we're close, but what I need to do is I need to move this up a little bit so we can see the code a little bit better. And now what I'm going to do, okay, here's our opening tag for the block quote. Then after that, I need to put closing tag down here after the site tag. So I'm going to hit the return key. And I'm going to put the closing tag for a block quote. And then after that, for the next one, I need an opening tag for a block quote. And then I need to find the end of that one. And I need to put closing tag. Don't pay attention to the, I just need the opening tag here to the error messages here. It should disappear in a minute. Okay. They should all be working. All the error messages disappeared. I was able to add my quotes. I was able to properly format the telephone numbers, but more importantly, in our article, we were able to customize. You can see here under education and events, I have extra tags that need to get rid of, but I'll do that after we end today. So I appreciate your patience, and I'm sorry for the glitches again here today. They happen from time to time, almost every day. Yeah, and we'll continue on next Tuesday with the same lesson, lesson 9. And it might take us a couple of days, all of the next week, to work with tables. They're probably the most difficult to style and to add and to manipulate. So I'm hopeful that I don't have any major glitches to contend with, and I'm able to fix that. We have an extra one here. And then we're done. So I'm going to go ahead and save it, and I'm going to say goodbye to all of you, okay? And I appreciate your patience, and I hope that I'll listen to the recording myself when we're done, and if I have to redo it this weekend, I will. Okay? Okay, so goodbye, and I'll see you later. Have a good weekend.